Attack on Titan is one of my favorite animes, my favorite anime, definitely, and one of my favorite shows in general. Attack on Titan is absolutely amazing. One of the reasons why it's amazing is because of its great characters. And in today's video, I want to go over my top 5 favorite characters from Attack on Titan. So starting out this list, at number 5, we have Armand. Armand is just a super reliable character. He's been there from the very start. We've had some great moments with him throughout the anime, and in general is a really good character. He's definitely quite an in-depth character. We see a lot of him in general in the show, and we see a lot of good moments with him, but we also see a lot of kind of tragic moments, a lot of moments where we see the lows as well as the high points of Erin's journey. You know, at the beginning where he first turned Titan, Armand ultimately rescued him and made him kind of reliable, made him be able to see what was going on around him so that Erin could take control of his Titan back in season 1. And he did that. He was able to do it. He's also very smart. He's also the inheritor of the Colossal Titan of Bertold. And in general, I just think he's a really good character. We see a lot of him, and he's definitely a very in-depth character. The next character on this list is Captain Levi. Captain Levi is one of my favourites because he's just super reliable. He's always there, and he's always able to really pack a punch against any enemy out there. He's just super quick. He's very pleasing to watch. You know, he's very skilled when it comes to the ODM gear, which means he's kind of really enjoyable to watch. He pulls off all these amazing tricks and also fights in a different way than all the other characters, all the other people that fight with the ODM gear. He's got one hand behind him, one blade behind him, and it allows him to spin around the Titan and see something that we don't normally see when people are attacking Titan. We also get to see kind of his origin story going into the Scouts. We see that in No Regrets, the spin-off anime thing that they did for him, as well as we see his background, how he kind of became a thief, became trained, became, you know, skilled in every aspect to survive in the underground when I think it's his uncle Kenny teaches him all that he needs to know and then leaves him out the blue after his prostitute mother dies in the underground. And yeah, Captain Levi is super great. He's got great chemistry with Honji, or whatever you call her, and I think them two as a pair are really good, especially actually when we bring back Evan Smith into the mix. You know, they were a really good trio. They really bounced off each other well and performed really well. Really good characters. Captain Levi, number 3. Number 4. Talking about number 3, we actually have an enemy on this list. We have Reiner Brown. Reiner is one of my favourite characters for multiple different reasons. You know, the guy is just absolutely fantastic when it comes to his personality. You know, it's all split up. How can you expect a young lad to go into a nation, live under their roofs, you know, talk and communicate with the people that he's essentially waging war against, train with them like they're all comrades, go to war with them, and ultimately backstab them and kill them off slowly in hopes of killing the main character of this show, Erin Jaeger. Now, he did kind of seem to be a bit of a side character towards the beginning of the anime. Not a lot going on with him, apart from a few kind of fight sequences, apart from him kind of speaking to Erin, him teaching Erin a little bit, and ultimately dropping a lot of foreshadowing to the future that obviously was irrelevant to us in the beginning because we didn't know what was going to happen. An example of this is kind of him being mentioned as the Armored Titan as the camera or as the positioning goes towards him and shows his face, his reaction to that, as his Titan has been mentioned by Erin Jaeger. And yeah, super dark character towards the end, really good, really enjoyable to watch, and just a very well written character in general, with some good character development over the time, some kind of surprised in-depth viewpoints into him, and a good in-depth personality which you don't really expect, but is, you know, honestly realistic because everybody has quite an in-depth personality to them. They all have different things going on, and on the surface, we don't always seem like we do, but we normally do. Number 4, to the shock of some people actually, we have Erin Jaeger. Erin Jaeger is a really good character. You know, we see his transition from ultimately wanting to kill all the Titans to wanting to kill all the threats, all the people outside of the island. Now, this is good character development and kind of changes over time, but ultimately stays the same. He just wants to eliminate the biggest threat, make himself safe, make his people safe, and he'll stop at nothing to achieve that. He definitely is a very unrelatable character, but we can see kind of maybe the 0.0005% of the population would actually act like Erin Jaeger. A lot of them act like him, but they don't actually follow through and do what he actually does, you know. And ultimately, the savagery that he goes to towards the end of the anime is really quite unrealistic, but definitely something that could happen very occasionally, especially in the situation that Eren was put in when his mum essentially got killed and all his houses got destroyed towards the beginning of the anime. And yeah, he's just a great character in general. He just marches forward constantly. He's a great antagonist and protagonist depending on what you want to view it as. And yeah, he's great. The next character we have, number 1 position in my opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to kind of question this, but it's actually Kirsten, or however you pronounce his name. He's definitely my favourite character because he's just such a relatable character. He's good at everything, but he's not great at one specific thing. He's good at everything, but he's not great at one thing. And he's basically better at everything compared to Eren, but he's just not as determined nor as lucky as Eren is. Eren is the main character of this show, but we could quite easily see Kirsten being the main character instead. They're basically the same people, but Jean did not go through the trauma of having his mom eaten by a Titan. Jean has always been there from the start, you know, fighting with Eren, going against him. Nobody else really did that towards the beginning, especially in the Cadet Corps, and it was good to see that. And then we see him slowly kind of build up a little bit of a grudge against Eren, and you know, Eren's got Mikasa. Jean really likes Mikasa. He fancies her. He wants to be her husband. He wants to have a kid with Mikasa, and Eren has the ability to do that, but yet he doesn't do it. And Eren is also, even though Eren's worse at speaking to women or whatever, you know, he's no better than Jean. He just gets it because he's just lucky. He gets the Attack Titan and the Founder Titan because he's lucky, not because of what he's done. And he ultimately is just more determined than Jean. But Jean, you know, he's always there. He's really fun, and we kind of see him in his own kind of spin-off. We see kind of Sasha, Connie, and Jean all in this one spin-off episode where they go on a hunt a boar and try and essentially cook the best meal they can for Pixis. And it's just a super fun character, comedic relief in some aspects, has great chemistry. Again, coming through with the trio analogy here, we got the obviously we got Mikasa, Armand, and Eren. We got Honji, Levi, and Erwin, and now we got Connie, Sasha, and Jean, all being a trio. You know, all bouncing off each other really well with good chemistry. And unfortunately, we see the death of one of these trios towards the end. And you know, Jean is kind of somebody that you look to and like you just are nostalgic about him because he's been there forever, you know. We see some really good moments with him, and he's just a load of fun. And I think I'm probably one of the only people that think he's the best, you know. He's not even the best. I can say that. He's just my favourite. He's not the best. We don't see the most character development with him. He kind of stays on the same track. Towards the end, towards the end of the anime, he kind of questions, should I be going into the MPs now the Jaegerists have taken over, and I can go and live a luxurious life, I can have whatever I want to. I can have the life that I have always wanted and sit back and not fight anymore. But he doesn't choose to do that the same way he didn't choose to do it when Erin first joined the Scouts, and he essentially got Jean to join the Scouts as well. He's kind of got that inner voice inside of his head saying, I could have this better life that everybody wants, but also I don't want Erin to win. I don't want him to be better than me in every aspect because he's more determined. I want to at least put up somewhat of a fight, and he's great for that. He's very entertaining. And yeah, that's my top 5. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.